Hey Collective and Soul Tribe, happy Thursday. All right guys, today is Baby Friday. Okay guys, I hope you guys are doing well so far. Actually today's actually the 28th and the full moon is actually happening this weekend. Okay guys, so I did bring my Moonology deck with me. I didn't bring both of them. I have like a mini deck that I normally use, but I didn't bring that with me, so I'm probably gonna use my big deck. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well mentally, physically, emotionally. Okay guys, let's jump right into it and see what you need to know. As you guys can see, I have my Prism Oracle deck that I will be using in today's message. Okay, so let's see what you guys might need to know. I've been using this deck a lot recently, and today I'm actually giving tarot cards a break. If you guys know me, you guys know that sometimes I do give tarot cards a breather because sometimes the messages are redundant. I'm not gonna lie to you. And sometimes it's good to take a break from tarot cards at least. So let's see what I can tell you guys when it comes to Oracle messages for May 29th, okay? But happy Thursday. All right, guys, we got one more day and it is Friday. All right, guys. So let's see what you guys might need to know for today, okay? So Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective for Thursday, May 28th? Thank you. All right, guys, we have flow. All right, so not sure if water could be significant for somebody, or being near water, or this could just be being in flow. Okay, this could be being in flow, being with the rhythm of the universe, the natural flow of the universe, following the universe and the way that things are flowing right now. That is significant. Being in flow in a sense of just going with the flow, okay? And I know that sounds easier said than done, but once you kind of have an idea of what your path is or how your path may kind of look like, it's easier for you to just kind of just go with what the universe is giving you. So even synchronicities are significant. Okay, following the synchronicities that you guys are seeing, following the path that you guys are supposed to follow, whether you know your blueprint or not. It's just waking up in the morning and just going with the flow and hoping that, you know, obviously things will get better or things will move forward, that type of energy, right? So even with this card, it says illumination. Okay, so there is something about you going with the flow, but not only just going with the flow, you being able to shine your light, shine your aura, your energy. There's also this energy of like shining your light on certain matters, or shining your light on certain dynamics. So this could also look like everything in the dark coming to light. So truth, basically, speaking your truth, seeking truth, knowledge, wisdom, etc. And a lot of times when it comes to you shining your light, you will attract a lot of energies, right? So sometimes the energies that you attract, it can be good, it can be bad. It just depends on, you know, where you are in life, okay? But we have mystery, okay? So something about your energy is a mystery. Now, you could also be somebody who is light and dark, light and shadow. And so that is also significant. You could be also somebody who shines light on the mysteries of life, okay? Things that could be hidden, things that could be unseen, okay? That could be significant. I just saw 3:33 on the timer and I got a sneeze, so give me a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze, okay? But I did see 3:33 on the timer before I paused the video. So yeah, your energy could be mysterious or be a mystery. There's also something about shining light on, like I said, unseen energy, shadows, and things that are just not shown in the 3D light, but also shown in the 5D. So take what resonates with that. That could be significant as well. But there's something about even when it comes to your shadows. So again, like I said, with the full moon coming up this weekend, there's something about that energy that if something was hidden or things were hidden, it's now starting to show up energetically in the 3D realm, okay? So there's things about hidden truths, secrets, things like that. It's almost giving like Scorpio energy and Pluto energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be those two things, but it is definitely giving the energy of Scorpio energy, okay? So let me see what else comes out. So let's see. But there is something about you being mysterious, or even if you're not trying to be mysterious, you show up as mysterious, or there's something about you shining light on the dark, like I said, okay? So sadness, Okay, something about sadness. Now, for some of you guys, when it comes to hidden energy or hidden truths, somebody in your energy could be sad. This could be you, as in the collective. Not to put that energy out there, because we don't want to be sad all the time, but let's be real. Like, there's good days, there's bad days. Maybe some people, you know, maybe you were crying, or maybe you were basically going through certain things, right, by yourself. Or even when it comes to like expressing yourself about, you know, things that you feel, or how you feel about certain matters, or things that may have triggered or bothered you, whatever it was, right? I'm also getting this energy too, where like, if it is sadness, and again, there's a lot of projection with energy too. A lot of you guys could be feeling the energy of other people being sad. This could also be projection, because again, if you are somebody that is releasing and letting go people from out of your life, doesn't matter how long you've known them, a lot of times people like fail to realize that it doesn't matter how long you know an individual or you know a person. Sometimes people don't realize that their actions speak louder than words. And I don't know why, when it comes to the collective, people think it's okay to treat the collective basically like dirt. You know, like, don't get me wrong, dirt is grounding, okay? But in a sense where it's like stomping on you, you know, putting you down, making you feel, trying to make you feel lesser than you are, and that's not cool, right? So take what resonates with that. That could be confirmation for a lot of you, but there's something about the energy where somebody could be sad, or, you know, there's something about sadness, right? But in a sense, if there is sadness, this could be you or someone else's energy. Just know that you can trust the universe, right? So even if you feel like you can't trust other people, know that you can trust the universe. Know that you can trust yourself. So take what resonates with this, right? There's something about your heart chakra too, trusting your heart and trusting your inner knowing. And sometimes that could also bring sadness. There's something about that energy too, where there are certain situations that you've dealt with where you had to cut your losses with people, places, okay, things, or, you know, dealing with certain people that made you feel uncomfortable. So even with that too, it's like the universe is saying to you guys that you need to start trusting yourself, trusting your gut, trusting your inner knowing. And even though it may be sad, just know things will get better, okay? We have ideation. So yeah, there's something about ideations. This could be ideas. When I think of this card too, I think about societal norms, okay? Things that people think that is the norm. That, to me, I feel like that's not the case, but there could be something about that energy too, where there's something about your ideations, maybe the way that you think, or maybe the way other people think. And I also feel like even if other people have different ideations about how they view life and their perspectives, I always feel like the collective is always open, right? Even if you're not someone who's open and you're learning to be open, that's okay too. It's part of spirituality. You're learning, right? You're learning, you're growing. That's understandable. But what I'm saying is that if you have your own ideations and other people have their ideations, it's also giving the energy where people could be trying to project their ideations onto you as well. And you may have your own views as well. So it's giving like first house placements. So there's something about that too, where you may think a certain way, but that doesn't mean that you're forcing people to think exactly how you think. You just want people to understand your perspectives and kind of move on from that, right? There's also this energy too, where some of you guys are feeling like people's ideations of you are not the same. So you could have changed as an individual, as a person, as a being, right? You could have changed. And there's people around you that may have not changed, and their ideations of you are still the same, but you have changed, right? So even that too is significant. Take what resonates with that too. For some reason, I'm getting that energy where some of you guys could be feeling like, you know, certain things that you are aware about, you would wish that other people are aware about as well. We also have anxiety. Okay, so that could be significant too. Some of you guys, like I said, when it comes to ideations, it's like you guys could be dealing with anxiety, or if this is not your energy, like I said, because it's a collective reading, I like to make sure everybody is included in that sense. And if I'm missing something, then I'm missing something, but I always try my best to include all the messages that I can. But even with anxiety, right, you could be somebody who deals with that. And there's also different versions of anxiety. It's not just linear, it's not one way. So it's almost like doctors and other medical people could be saying one thing about, you know, the traits of somebody who is anxious or has anxiety, but then at the same time, it's like maybe that doesn't fit you, because maybe your anxiety could be different. It could be, you know, something that you've dealt with when it comes to trauma or dealing with certain energies, right? And a lot of people don't understand that either. Your environment is also something that can mess around with your nervous system. And I think people don't realize that how they treat people, it messes with your nervous system. So even a job, it's like these corporations or jobs, it's almost like they want people to work literally to the ground with bare minimum pay, right? Where it feels like you're just working. And people are not realizing that you need breaks, you need to eat, you need time alone. And people get so offended when you're not somebody who wants to be cliquish or be in groups of people. That could be also anxiety too. It's like, it's not that you don't like dealing with people, but you would just wish that or people would understand or understood the fact that you like being alone. Nothing is wrong with being alone. Like, I really wish people would get that. So there's something about that energy. We also have growth. Like I said, something about anxiety. Maybe you guys, you know, healed that part of you, or there's something about, you know, moving past your anxieties, whether this is fear, whether this is the unknown, okay, new beginnings, whatever it is, right? There's something about you guys facing your fears and being able to step into this new ideation of your life, okay, of you trusting, of you being able to move forward, of you being able to say, you know what, I can do this, and I can, you know, put my best foot forward no matter what anyone says. You know what I mean, guys? And not having other people's ideations change the way you think or the way you feel. So there's something about that. You guys could also have your boundaries up right now. Like, you guys could be protecting your energy for some reason, because maybe people have made you felt uncomfortable while you were trying to make people feel comfortable, right? We have reflection. Yeah, so it's like you guys have grown, okay? Like I said, if this is past energy, or maybe this could have happened the last few days, maybe the last few hours, right? But there's something about you being able to reflect, you being able to go within, see things from different perspectives. And that's another thing too I was gonna say as well, is that while you're able to see different perspectives or being able to reflect within yourself, you going with yourself alone, like going within and being able to reflect and see things from different point of views, that is also something that a lot of people don't do. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Take that as a gift, okay? Take that as a gift of discernment, that you guys have the gift of gab when it comes to going within. So, you know, like someone that's like very critical or analytical about themselves, it's like, it doesn't matter what placements you have, everybody is critical of themselves some way, shape, or form. And if someone says to you that they're not critical of themselves, or they never were, listen, sometimes people like to tell people whatever they want to hear, and honestly, it's just to make their pride or their ego look good. I'm critical of myself. Like, who isn't critical of themselves, okay? I always used to be critical of myself, and then I realized, what the frig is the point? What is the point? Like, I'm over here trying to change myself and better myself, and that's all I can do is just work on me, while other people are also not wanting to change. So that's another thing too. It's like, you guys could be very critical of yourself, very like, you know, when you speak down on yourself and you're like, you know, I can't do this. No, you guys are changing that. You guys are switching that. And it's because of the fact that it's the environments that you guys were either in, or the people that you were around, okay? And that makes a big difference too. Like, people don't realize that the people that you hang around, that makes a difference, okay? There's something about caution, right? So like I said, when it comes to reflection and being very cautious at this time, you are cautious, okay? You are very cautious. There's something about symbols as well. This also reminds me of, like, if someone's driving, and that could be confirmation too. Somebody could be driving on the road, and there's something about construction and caution, okay? So even traveling could be significant. Like, maybe you guys are very cautious about where you travel or places that you go to and things like that. There's a little bird. Things like that, right? And so for some of you guys that resonate with this, there's something about that energy where you guys are very, you know, distant, right? It's like you guys see people for who they are. It doesn't mean that you're being mean to them, but you keep people at a distance because been there, done that. You know how people move. You're very aware. You're very discerning. And unfortunately, when it comes to dealing with people, people think that because they've done something to you, they can come back to you, right? They can come back to you and do the same thing, or they can come back and play the same games, whether this is mind games or playing physical games, whatever this is. But you're very aware, okay? We have passion. So that's the thing. You guys are very cautious, but you're passionate. You know what I mean, guys? And that could be very confusing to a lot of people, because a lot of people may assume that just because you're passionate, that means you're, delusional, or, you're willing to accept every and anything. And it's like, no, I'm passionate. This could be you guys. Like, you're passionate, but you're also not stupid. Okay, like, you have common sense, and it doesn't matter what age you are. Some of you guys are just more mature than other people that are around you, whether this is people in your age group or older people, younger people. It doesn't matter what age you are. Okay, some of you guys are just very mature for your age, and that is very significant as well, because at the end of the day, what you're passionate about and what makes you happy, that is exactly what you guys are needing to focus on, and that is what you guys could be focusing on. Okay, we also have hunger. Okay, so even when it comes to your passion, your hunger, your drive, okay, you are shining. Okay, you're shining. Hunger could be significant too. Maybe you guys are needing to eat more, okay, when it comes to like your diet and things like that. So say, for example, maybe you lost a lot of weight. That's a touchy subject too. People lose weight and gain weight all the time, but at the same time, there's something about you putting yourself first, mentally and physically. Even when it comes to your hunger and your drive and your passion, that is also significant. It's like, you want this. You know what I mean? Like, you ever had somebody who, they're looking for work, and it's like that hunger? That also could be significant too. It's like, maybe you guys are looking for jobs. Maybe you guys are looking for new things to do, new hobbies, new interests. But you may notice in your group of people that you grew up with, or your generation in general, that you're the main person that has that go-getter leadership, almost like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. It doesn't have to be those placements, but even that energy, that fire energy, that passion, that rawness, okay, where you feel like, why am I the only one being a go-getter in my group of people, and everybody's just like, like asleep at the wheel or something, right? So that could be very hard too. It's finding people who have the same hunger and drive like you. And that's very hard to go by or find, because there's not everybody is the same, obviously, but it's very hard to find people who have similar interests. And these similar interests that they have, it's almost like being able to connect with people, right? So we have sweetness. So take what resonates with this. Your energy could be very sweet. Now, when it comes to hunger, somebody could have a sweet tooth also. Be careful of that. That also could be why the caution card came out as well. I know the messages are all over the place, but like I said, it's a collective reading. But be very careful about the sweetness and the sweets that you eat, because if you do have hunger, like you're hungry and all you're eating is junk, like sweet foods, like say, for example, cookies and Cinnabons and things like that, that is not good, because that means health-wise, that's how a lot of people become diabetic. And I'm not a doctor, but usually that's how a lot of people become diabetic, or diabetes could be significant, high blood pressure, or having like a very low blood sugar could be significant. But even when it comes to your energy, you guys could be very sweet as well. Like, you could be very kind, sweet, that type of energy. And also when it comes to fear, so like I said, there's something about anxiety and facing your fears that are very, very significant at this time. At the bottom, we have happiness, right? So again, when you face your fears, right, and you move through that door of the unknown, you're basically stepping into happiness, right? So I'm gonna get one more card. Okay, yeah, pain, right? So even with happiness at the bottom of the deck, it's like you faced your fears when it comes to pain, right? You've dealt with disruptions. Now, even when it comes to pain and disruptions, this could go either way. This could be either disruptions in your life, or dealing with people being disruptive, not respecting your peace, your boundaries, and things like that. So because of that, facing your fears could also look like stepping out of your boundaries or moving out of your comfort zone, okay, with sweetness showing up, right? This is like emotional, comfort and things like that, moving out of that energy energy, facing your fears, putting yourself out there. Now, when I see this card as well, for some reason, somebody could have Uranus, I want to say Uranus placements, because I feel like Uranus may represent that when it comes to disruptions and challenges and things like that. But there's something about the energy where you're actually here to disrupt traditions. That also came to my mind as well. You're actually meant to disrupt traditions and disrupt certain places. So corporations and things like that that feel like they need to be traditional, or they feel like they need to keep continuing at the same status quo, 2020 on the timer. There's something about that too with Phoenix energy as well when it comes to divine partnership. So there's something about you disrupting systems. Yeah, strength. Okay, and then we also have consciousness at the bottom. So there's something about you disrupting systems or needing to disrupt systems. Some of you guys may feel like, you know, why do I always have to keep dealing with the same patterns? Some of these patterns that you deal with, yes, they are lessons to be learned, but at the same time, these are also systems that talk about when it comes to dealing with people, how we disrupt systems in a way where, you know, we're not going to continue on the same nonsense or patterns that people want us to continue, you know, when it comes to the energy. So that is also significant. All right, guys, but I'm going to end it here. So please take what resonates whenever you see this message or video. And again, thank you guys for the love and the support. Like I said to you guys, I will be monitoring my website, like I said, for the next few months, just to see how the traffic is going. And of course, if it's not going the way that it's supposed to, I will transition over to just TikTok and YouTube only and release the website, get rid of it. But I still will post blogs and stuff like that, but only on TikTok, right? Like I said, the only reason why I did the website was because I thought maybe it would be a little bit helpful for people to be able to kind of just sit there and read things, because let's be real, TikTok is like doom scrolling, right? And trying to get people away from just doom scrolling all the time. But like I said, if the traffic is not there and I'm not seeing any improvement, like I like to keep it real with you guys, I'm just gonna get rid of it and just focus on just YouTube and TikTok only. All right, guys. But for those who have been supporting me and my page and what I've been trying to build when it comes to community, even when it comes to like this stuff, like divination, because like I said, I'm not into the clickiness. I'm not into like this, I like you because you're pretty, I like you because you're this, I like you. I'm not into that. I just feel like everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves to succeed. So that is why when it comes to followers and things like that, if I see that you do have a business and you do the same thing that I'm doing, or you guys are just showcasing certain things, yeah, I don't mind following back, and I don't mind, you know, reposting and sharing or doing whatever that I normally I do. I'll repost people's videos and stuff, but just that support, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not into the high school stuff. Like, I don't have time for that. And that is significant too, where some of you guys are also tired of dealing with energies like that too. So I appreciate you guys when it comes to support and followings and things like that, and just liking and sharing with people who may resonate with it as well. So I do want to say thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and that, you know, it does mean a lot, because a little bit goes a long way for me. And I thank you guys. So like I said, I am on YouTube and TikTok. If you guys, you know, if you guys can follow me on my website as well for my blogs, and, you know, if you want to book a reading, it's www.mysteriouslyunique.ca. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. All right, guys, bye.